off prepare for your summative that's due Friday. All right, so I'm seeing some hands here. Awesome. What you're telling me is that as we're going through the writing of the Under God paper, that it's making perfect sense to you and that you know what you're doing, which is wonderful. Okay, if that's you, so skip down to summative. It says in bold, summative assessment for unit on family and education. And then it says topic choices for goals 1 and 2. And then there it says, well, just go to SIRS and pick almost any of the issues under that category called school, family, and youth. Mostly, I will accept it. There are a few in there that we'll deal with later. So I wanted you to make sure you came, if you picked a unique topic under that category, you should come and tell me, because I just want to make sure that you're not picking something that we're going to think about later. All right? Well, I mean, I think there's some things in there. I can't remember. Is gay marriage in there? Or is gay adoption in there? There's some things in there we're going to deal with later. All right. So what's different is I mistakenly only said you had to quote from one SIRS article, but that's not right. You need a pro and a con quote, which means you have to read 2 SIRS articles, not one. Right? So one from the left-hand column and one from the right-hand column, for those of you writing the paper. And you can write a 4-paragraph paper where you're arguing one reason why it should be and one reason why it shouldn't be. Or you could write a 5-paragraph paper, one reason why it should be and 2 reasons why it shouldn't be. Or 2 reasons why it shouldn't be and 1 reason why it I'm lost here. Or a 6-paragraph 2 and 2. I've given A's for 4-paragraph papers. I've given F's for 4-paragraph papers. I've given A's for 6-paragraph papers. I've given F's for 6-paragraph papers. It isn't the quantity, it's the quality, right? Okay. So there's the difference. Okay. How many of you think you're going to do some sort of a Google slideshow thingy? A whole bunch of you. Well, you are also required to find 2 sources. It says there, 1 SIRS article from the first point of view, and then it says there, read a second article from SIRS from a second point of view, or find a good chart graph from SIRS. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm you. I'm only going to talk for a few more minutes here, and then the rest of the hour is going to be you kind of accomplishing, because we have a few bowling pins that are in the air now and you're juggling, right? So you have this summative due Friday due. And then we have this debate, which is next week, Wednesday, and the jury is set. I didn't say that. Okay. So which one is it again? Family. There it is. School, youth, and family. And let's just pick homework for no particular reason. If I pick homework, there's the question. That will be, those of you writing the paper, the question is your hook. That's the first sentence of your paper. There it is. Here are 3 articles that argue that homework should be abolished. Here are 3 articles that argue it shouldn't be. Okay, pick one from that column, one from that column. But there's more. If you keep going down, there's timeline. There's evidence that you could use if you wanted. There's even more. There's all sorts of stuff that is oh yeah, cheating. Should we cheat? I say no. Find more sources for homework. You could check. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that's in here. Okay. This is the one I want to point out. So when I'll show you what I did again. When underneath the articles for and against is something that says find more sources for homework. You click on that. And then in the left column, it says other stuff. There's newspapers, there's magazines, government sources, other sources, there's primary sources. If you click on this stuff, click on other sources, there's all sorts of articles you can find. All sorts of stuff that you could use. So you know, do a little exploring and see what you can find. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Any questions? That's really the only change on this piece of paper. You got this already, but I tweaked it. I mistakenly said you only needed to find one SIRS article. That's not right. You need one for and one against. That's the only change. Yes, dear. Okay. New piece of paper. None of you have this, I don't think, although I think somebody came in and I gave it to you. This is the piece of paper I will be using when I am grading your summative. Here you go, little fella.
Thank you.
De nada. Did you know that Spanish, de nada literally means of nothing? Say thank you. Thank you. De nada. Of nothing. It's the same as when we say, yeah.
Oh,
De
that's
nada.
cool. De nada.
De nada. Has anyone used nt? I'm going to start a movement.
German.
Start a movement.
Is it spelled
NT. As in, hey, ask me if you ask me to lunch later. Say, hey, you want to go to lunch yet?
Hey, you want to go to lunch?
As in, no. Let's start a movement. Let's spread it across the. You know how like tea is a thing? The girls talk about issues. Tea. Let's start a new one. Because it saves time. Why say the whole syllable now? Quicker.
Now.
Now. Find your summative choice. They're all on here. Right? You're writing the paper, it's basically the entire front page. But there are other options on the back. Are you doing a Google presentation? There's how I'm going to grade. I'm going to grade based on three things: the information that you have, how it's presented on your Google slideshow, and then you doing the presenting will be graded. Okay?
Why does it say throughout American history?
Where does it say that? Oh, that's just a sample. That's just a sample, right? Are you doing a podcast or are you making a video? Anyone doing either of those? Podcast or making a video?
I might.
Okay. Okay. So basically the idea is you're doing a presentation, but it's not live, right? You're creating the thing in advance, and then at some point I'm going to hit the word play, and then I'm going to either listen or look at something. You might or might not be in. Okay. There's your rubric, right? Got to make sure you're doing those things. Are any of you doing some sort of a visual, a comic book, a piece of art that requires effort? Well, if you ever do, there's the requirements, okay? So I invite you to sort of look over your rubric, especially those of you writing the paper, because this is how I'm going to grade it. I'm going to look at your first paragraph. Do you do these things? Look at your next paragraph. Are you doing these things? If it's 4 paragraphs, I'm going to skip over to, I'm going to skip the ones you don't do. Are you doing these things? And nothing, you shouldn't be looking at any of this like, I don't know what this is talking about. You should know exactly what that's talking about because we've written 3 of the paragraphs for the Under God paper together. So it's the same. It's the same. Okay? Just quickly, are there any questions about this bad boy? How many of you want to cry right now?
Not yet.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad.
You haven't broken us yet.
Give me time. Okay, so this class does end at what, 10:35? Is that right? 10:35. It is now about 7 minutes to 10, and I'm done. I'm done talking. You have the rest of this hour, and I'm here to help you. You can help each other. Some of you in this room, he knows how, I know for sure, and he knows how, I know for sure, and those are the only 2 I know for sure. Although I'm sure many others in this room also know how. But those 2 I know how to write these papers. I know for a fact they do. They spent the entire last year doing this repeatedly. Okay, so, and they'll be delighted to help you. See, look at Jack's face. That's a face that says, I'm here to help you. Okay, I'm also here to help you, right? Any questions? I'll put on a little Mozart.
Why did they hang dogs?
Yeah, can we talk about the Salem witch trial?
Why'd they hang dogs?
Because they were witches.
The dogs were witches?
That's what the Puritans thought.
They got some pretty dark black.
All right,
magic in it.
that's it. I'd be happy to walk over and help you. You're first. Actually, why don't you come to my office? If you need help from me, come on over and I'll be delighted to help you. Otherwise, the rest of the hour is all yours.